Okay, so I just was on Twitter. I was gonna get ready to. I saw that Red Letter Media had done their Matrix Resurrections, half in the bag. I was all ready. I did what I had to do in the yard. I was all ready to come and lay down and watch it, and relax. And I'm looking on Twitter and I see Betty White's trending, and I'm like, okay, she's just trending again. And then I look, and I'm like side eyeing it. And I'm like, no, they didn't. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Okay. Here's my problem. When I went to see Matrix Resurrections, the only movie I've seen in the theater in a very long time, I'm sitting there and there's a trailer, or I don't know what you want to call it, this commercial thing, whatever, for this celebration of Betty White's 100th birthday. Okay? Now, the thoughts that are in my head are, I think about things and what things mean. And I try to be purposeful. And I used to try to be a good person. I don't think I'm a good person. I don't even understand what that means anymore. I philosophize all day long. This is why I like movies like The Matrix. This is why I'm not as concerned with the Kung Fu. I'm concerned with stuff like that. It's the mythology. The nature of the universe type things are what interest me. How the world works, spiritual, metaphysical, mystical type topics are what really resonates with me. Probably I have no money because I probably should have been a monk or a nun or a priest or something like that. Like I said, an old crone where I just live in a tree in the woods. I don't have those skills, but that's probably what I should have done, and that's why I don't make money. I don't like money. And I'm not attracted to it. I just think in these ways. Am I a wonderful person? Absolutely not. Here's what I'm getting at. In my life, I really have come to, I hear a lot of people, we talk about manifestation, we talk about law of assumption, we talk about law of attraction, people talk about The Secret. I hear Christians talk about speaking things into being, or whatever they call it, that somehow your faith is supposed to make you get things, or if you know what I mean, like you're supposed to, your confidence and stuff like that is supposed to bring things to you or something like that. And it has never rang true with me. I can't get on that bandwagon. I've never been one, like I said, going all the way back when I was in the 80s, for crying out loud, when I was a kid, and I would see bumper stickers that says Jesus loves me or something like that. It used to drive me crazy. I'm like, man, if I thought the boy in class, if I was going around saying the boy in class loves me, everybody would think I was pretty damn conceited. These people with their bumper stickers, Jesus loves me, I'm like, that's really freaking conceited, and over time that has evolved where I hear it's part, like, that's supposed to be a given, and I think almost everybody will disagree with me on this, and that's fine. But in my lifetime, I have come to, I don't pray for things. I don't pray for outcomes. I try to be a good person. I try to do my best. I try to take everything into account. All the different religions, astrology, Eastern thought, anything, alchemy, I'll entertain it all because I know that I don't know anything. And this, like, if you can even remember the movie Dogma, where he said something like that. You don't know, but you have a good idea, or you believe something, and that's what people should have, their beliefs, and that's fine. So this idea of taking things for granted, I really have a hard time taking things for granted, and I feel like when I do, the hammer comes down on me. That's why for years now, when me and my mom would be going on a trip for a day or two to New York, if it meant something to me, I wouldn't talk about it in advance, because I'd be like, I don't want to, somebody else might say, I don't want to jinx it, something to that degree, because to me, jinxing things is another way of, to me, what I feel like is now being arrogant before the Lord. I do not want to tell God what's going to happen, because again, we can go, what was that movie? Anyway, Eric Stoltz says to somebody, you want to make God laugh, make a plan. I'm sure he didn't invent it. I'm sure the writer of that movie didn't invent it, but it's true. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know. Nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. And I keep getting pop-ups and it's driving me a little bit crazy. So if it's messing up the stream, okay. So I have a real issue with people saying what's going to happen. And even when my mom was in the hospital and I was going there with her friend was trying to tell me how she was going to be fine and everything. Just saying that, I was just like, please don't say that. Please don't tell God what he's going to do. You know what I mean? Because she was a very religious person and a born again Christian type person. And I'm like, do not tell God what he's going to do because he will prove you wrong. Okay, so for me, I don't even want to say what I'm doing tomorrow. I don't say I'm going to the movies if I actually want to go and see the movie. I don't, like I said, I don't say I'm going to go to this concert, because if I say I'm going to do this, I will plan like crazy, and I will hope that I'm going. So the best I can say is I intend to go to this concert. I intend to do this thing. I don't know why it's saying that it's not receiving enough information because I'm not doing anything. So if this stream is sticky, I'm sorry. So I gotta, it's just not going. Okay, something happened because it's kind of freezing up, and that's why I've stopped talking for a minute. I don't know why, because there were a lot of things popping up that I wasn't in charge of here. Anyway, so point to make a long story even longer, here's where I'm going. I'm side-eyeing Twitter. Betty White has died. And I said, oh my God, they killed her. They killed her with their fucking celebration of her being 100. And I just remember seeing, just the minute I was watching that trailer commercial, whatever the hell it is, I think I saw it pop up on the internet as well. I just remember being like, why are they doing this? Why are they playing this game? I'm sorry. These are the thoughts I had. Do not tell God that Betty White is going to be 100. Do not tell the universe that Betty White is going to be 100. Do not tell anybody, including Betty White, that she's going to be 100. Because nobody knows. And planning an extravaganza like that, making it a big thing, which I'm sure would have made a chunk of change for somebody, was not only arrogant, it just, I don't know, it just, to me, and this is my own philosophy on things, is this is how I believe that we should behave, and I should behave. And I hate that I put it on other people, but when I see it, it makes me almost scared, like I want to turn away, like, you know what I mean, like you're cruising for a bruise, and like you're looking away from an accident before it happens, because it's just like, I mean, the way the world has been with people dying suddenly, whether it's Kobe Bryant or any kind of young person who just suddenly goes, and, you know, anybody who's ever lived a life and somebody unexpectedly dies, you know, or something unexpected happens, which unexpected things happen constantly. So for me, it's so hard for me to understand how people with any kind of wisdom make such grand plans. And in that way, I'm on the opposite end, and I'm a complete moron, because I almost make no plans at this point. Because I think it's foolhardy. And I'm sorry, but I threw on this stream because I started shaking. I started shaking because 2 days ago, not 2 days ago, Tuesday, I sat in that theater watching that commercial about this 100 birthday party extravaganza thing for Betty White, and I'm just like, but her birthday didn't happen yet. And I saw it trending some point about her being 100, and I was like, but I think I saw it while yeah, that's what happened. I saw something about her being 100, or Betty White's birthday a couple weeks ago, and it was still Sagittarius time. You know, the sun was still in Sagittarius. So I'm like, I don't think Betty White's a Sagittarius. You know what I mean? So I was like, So that's when I looked at it and I said, oh, she's not 100 yet. Then what are they talking about? You know what I mean? Because that's how I think. And like I said, I am shaking over here. I believe they killed her by, she would have made it to 100, in my opinion, if they did not do this. And I just think it's terrible. It's really bothering me, because there's so much of what I believe is wrapped up in ideas like this, and I specifically on this issue, I was like, don't do that. Don't do that to this woman. You're going to kill her before she gets to 100 by planning this freaking thing. And that was my thought in my head. And I can't believe that it happened. I really wanted to be wrong. But anytime people say all this speaking things into existence and stuff like that, it's one thing to hope. It's one thing to pray. It's one thing to try to manifest things or try to, you know what I mean? Try to do the things you need to do or tune into the universe or pray to connect to a source or to get on the right timeline or any of that kind of stuff. But when you say, I'm going to do this, this is going to happen, Betty White is going to be 100 and we're going to have a party when it happens, at least say fingers crossed, or say God willing, or I hope, or if everything goes according to plan, this is going to happen. I'm upset. I'm still a little bit shaky. I feel really bad. I know a lot of people like Betty White. I know a lot of people have come to like her over the years because she's like everybody's nice grandma. I know that Twitter's going to lose its mind. I feel really bad. Me and my mom watched the Golden Girls when I was in high school. Instead of me being cool, I was, home on Saturday nights watching the Golden Girls as it ran with my mom. My mom used to tell me that she thought I acted like Sophia. She seemed like an incredibly nice person. And she'd been on TV since forever. I mean, she used to come on those old game shows and stuff like that when she never really looked young. She always looked exactly like Betty White. So it's not like she looked different when she was, in black and white TV. She always kind of looked the same. And she's very beautiful, very nice woman. I think her causes were, I think she was an animal rights type person. I just am upset that they did all this shenanigans. And I personally hate to say it because it's nasty and it's judgmental. And this is why I'm saying I may be saying horrible things. But I feel like they robbed 100 from her by taking it for granted on her behalf. And commercializing it. And making it a dark side thing. And it got corrected. So, I feel really bad. I feel really nervous and shaky because I just, like I said, 3 days ago, sitting in the theater, seeing that commercial, I was like, oh, they're going to kill her. They're going to kill her with this bullshit. This is where my philosophy comes from. This is why I don't want to take things for granted. This is why I don't believe in being arrogant before the Lord or being arrogant before God or however we want to do it. I don't even like what I'm saying right now. But it bothered me the other day when I saw it. I worried about it a little bit. I was like, please don't do that to her. Just let the nice lady have her birthday and leave her alone. People have gotten stupider and more arrogant. And like I said, the pandemic, the lockdowns should have made us all great. It should have made us as they say, I hate this phrase, but the best version of ourselves. It should have made us all better people. We should have evolved into better people. Instead, people have become more materialistic, commercial, more about likes and Instagram posts, and we went the wrong way in response to the pandemic. Whether it was an organic happening or not, doesn't matter. I'm talking about the human response to it. Our leaders, ourselves, we all should have got better. We shouldn't have doubled down on superficiality and money and, online clout and all the things that we're doing instead because we de-evolved. And this is why I get so upset. But just, I wish she had just made it to 100, even if this stupid extravaganza didn't go off. Just so I could be wrong, just so I wouldn't have the horrible feeling that I feel right now. I don't know what religion she was. I don't know if she would want prayers for her or anything like that, but I feel bad for all the people who are going to feel bad right now. I feel bad for all the people going to be really sad and who wanted to do her birthday party thing because they like her, not because they were bad dudes. But please don't take things for granted. I hate taking, maybe that's why I'm slightly paranoid and worried all the time. I try not to be. I try to have some kind of faith or some kind of trust in things while also knowing anything can happen at any time, anything good or anything bad. And I try to live knowing that, and it's very, very hard. It's very, very hard to do, but please don't play with other people's lives like that. Don't, I don't know. It bothered me. I just felt like, yeah, I've said what I have to say.